Good morning, everybody from Round Knob Canyon. Well, guess whose stuff didn't come in the mail? So we're still up here at the pool table trying to see what we can do. We'll do the best we can. We will soon have tutorials where I can sit and work and you can watch, and I hope that will be soon. I just received a package yesterday that I ordered the middle of December. But this said it would be here Monday. That didn't happen. Tuesday didn't happen. So we're going to do the best we can. I'm going to show you, I'm just going to kind of walk you through how I make a book. I make so many different sizes of books. I do the simplest style. I don't know how a lot of them do the signatures and that, and I'm not interested in that because to me, really, I don't like the binding to be flat like a real book. I like for it to be kind of folded. Am I getting that in there? Yes. I just like for it to be kind of folded like a soft cover book. I don't even like hardcover books when I order books from Amazon or eBay or wherever. I'm a book fanatic. Holistic health and wellness. That's my scanner. Holistic health and wellness and motivational, inspirational, that type thing. Daily devotionals. I love all that kind of stuff. So I don't like the flat binding on a book. So I have no desire to learn to do 3 signatures or whatever. My books are all one signature. So let me just start and show you real quick. And then at the end I'll show you how I did my calendar book yesterday because I've had some questions about that. I start most of my books. Let's see here, what do we got? Okay, here's one right here for a good example. This is just a piece of paper, several pieces of paper. How many is there? 2 pieces of paper that I've just cut off of a piece of paper. Let me get this out. Just off of a sheet of paper. I cut it to size. Let me show you. I was going to show you in real time, but that isn't going to happen this week, it looks like. So I cut the size I want, whatever size that is. I love making little books. Sometimes I'll just sit and do that in the evening while we're watching TV. Because, he's obsessed with World War II and cowboys, so I have to be doing something. So I just make little books. This one has pages, and I'll do something with that pretty soon, and it'll be up for grabs somehow. This is one that I did and just really grunged up. I don't know if I'm getting these in the frame. That is some homemade paper, and I just cut it to size, just like this. Same way, cut it to size. Then I tore the edges, and then I cut some other paper, some smaller paper. Sometimes I use copy paper, line paper, just all kinds of paper. Anything will work. There's a piece of tissue paper right there that was baked in the oven. We will have a tutorial on baking paper in the oven and all that. But there's several pages in this. This looks like nothing right now. This looks like nothing right now. This is beginning to look like something because it's got a little bit of stuff in it. But this is going to be the most adorable little book you ever saw in your life. This is another little book that was made. I did the painted thing like I did on the big book. In fact, this is one of the ones I did in the beginning, and when I was trying to get the hang of making that Grandpa's log book. This is one of the books. I got that heart in there, and I thought, Grandpa wouldn't have a heart in there. This is going to have to be a grandma book for later, so I tossed it aside. So that's just plain old paper that's just been grunged up, torn up. There is nothing to this. Anybody can make these books, and anybody can make them and look just like the books that I make. So I just use copy paper or cardstock paper or homemade paper, just any kind of paper, the scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby or Michael's, just anything. I'm not a big fan of Michael's, but I go to Hobby Lobby a lot. Well, about once or twice a month, but I go get supplies there when I need them. So just plain old paper. All you need is plain old paper. The base of the books, the outside is usually a heavier paper, like cardstock. This is another book. This is just cardstock right here. And this is full pages of paper, cardstock, just baked in the oven, dipped in coffee, and I don't dip it and soak it. I dip it and put it on the cookie sheet. In, out, cookie sheet. In, out, cookie sheet. There's nothing to it. Do the same thing with these papers right here. I'm going to be doing some bundles, and going to be doing that right away because a couple of people have asked if I would just sell the paper because they've tried to do the paper. So I've been looking on Etsy to see. A lot of people just sell their coffee dyed paper. So I've looked on there to see kind of how they charge and all that for that because I don't like to overcharge on anything. So that's coming up right away. You'll just be able to get some paper and some supplies if you want it. So you just start with a heavier piece on the outside. Cardstock's fine. Cardboard is fine. Lighter weight paper on the inside, or that's what I do. And then let me show you how I do the seam on these. I'm not going to sew or anything right now, but this is just, let's just say this, I'm going to sew this book. So I thread my needle. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm trying to save time, trying to get this down without having to rush so much that you don't understand what I'm doing. So I go down with my needle in the middle. So you've got your little knot right here in the middle of your paper. Go down. It'll come out over here, come over here and go down again. Pull it through. Pull it across the center that you've already just stuck it in. Put it down through there again. Pull it out this side, put it back down through the middle, and if you pull that tight, one time we'll usually do it. Sometimes I'll do it 2 or 3 times if my book is going to be a little bit heavier. But that's the way I put these books together. All of these books are put together like this. And I just realized I forgot to put bring my little 3 punch papers up here. I do some small books about this size or a little bit smaller, and they are just pages of paper. Oh, here's some pages right here, but I forgot to bring some punched out. I take pages of paper, fold them in half. I hope I'm getting this in the frame. Fold them in half. I don't have the bone broth. I'm into bone broth. I'm studying bone broth for the holistic health. But I don't do that bone thing. You don't need that bone thing. You got a butter knife right in the kitchen. I don't buy supplies that I can make do. Like this. I saw some kind of paper punch on one of the videos a couple of days ago. I use a nut picker. We have dozens of these, or half a dozen or so, because my husband loves to crack nuts, walnuts, hickory nuts, all that. We go get that stuff, find that stuff, and then he likes to sit and do it in the winter. So I just use one of his pickers if I need to poke a hole. If I need a bigger hole, I use a screwdriver, a bigger screwdriver. Or I'll go out to the barn and use his drill press, which most of you probably don't have. But anyway, the little books with the 3 holes down the side that I do homemade, just start with pages of paper. I dunk them in coffee. First, let me tear them. Let me tear it for you right here. I just tear it. So then you've got, I usually do 5 pages in the books that I do like this. So let's put one of these on the outside. Okay, so there we go. Normally I do 5 pages when I'm doing a book like this. And then I'll take my paper punch. See if we can do this and get it right. And I'll just put 3 holes down the side. And that's not straight, but that's okay, because it's junk books. So I put 3 holes down the side. Then you've got your book. Then I put ribbon or whatever in that when I'm done and ready to finish the book. These make adorable little books, and I have sold dozens and dozens of them. They just make, gosh, I wish I had one of these coffee dyed for you to see what it looks like coffee dyed. Just one little page. It's just gorgeous, just like that, if you like simple stuff like I do, grunged up. So after I get my 5 little pieces of paper like this, I start at the top and I make my cover for my book. Whatever you want to do, and we'll make one in person in real time once I finally get this video set up right. I may have to go to wherever that stuff comes from and get it. We'll see. But anyway, so after I get them all, I get each page done, whatever I'm going to put on it, rabbits, chickens, grandma stuff, Old Country Church books. I've done tons and tons and tons of Old Country Church books out of this style book. This is about as simple as it gets. I have several little pieces of paper, however many you want. Cut a book page, tear a book page in half. I always tear. You've got your book. And then when you get all of the pages done, you just put a ribbon in there or jute or just anything you want. Heavy yarn, just anything. So that's the way that is. Okay, let me lay that aside. These are called paper bag books. And these are on eBay. You can buy them. I think they come in a pack of 6 or 10 or something. I'm not sure what. This is what I started out with many years ago. These are just paper bags that have been sewn together, holes punched down the side, and they're very reasonable. I think they're about $2 a piece. But when I first started doing this many years ago, this is what I started out with. And the first thing I would do was glue down most of these because I wasn't into pockets and stuff back then. So I would glue down all of these openings. All of these openings. I would glue all that down. And then I would start by covering my paper. I thought I had some fabric up here, but I don't see it right now. Hang on. No, I don't see it right now. Well, I just had it. Where would it be? Here's a piece we can use. This is not the right size, and it's not even, hang on. I would just start by covering the page because I put fabric over every one of mine, and I like the fabric to hang over the side just a little bit, and I like for it to hang over in different widths and different lengths. So that makes it look even more grungy. And then we do something with the side down here after that's all done. But these, if you want a way to start, they come real small, 6 by 6 on up to 8 by 10 or something like that, 8 by 8, 10 by 10. And they are very reasonable on eBay. Just type in paper bag books, I think. This is a plain old lunch bag. You have no idea how many of you own a book that has this as the base. This is a brown lunch bag. You fold it in half. I glue down the things because I like to put my own pockets in. I do not use these pockets. You can if you want to. I glue down all of these things, and then you have a book. Then all you have to do is put your pages in your book, cut your or tear your pages, however many you want in there, secure them in there, and you've got your book. You've got another book right there. There's the fabric I was looking for. Okay, so that's the way that is. This is the little vintage book, vintage sack that I've used on so many things, and I've given it to many of you and put it in your packages and things. I just fold the sack. I've made several out of this using the sack itself and then decorating from there, and that makes a real grungy book. Okay, let's see here. How did I make my calendar book yesterday? Listen, if you have any questions, post below. I will get better at this. I'm not used to doing this type video, so I know I talk in circles. I know I'm scrambling up everything, but we'll get through this. I will help anybody make a book. In August of 2018, I think it was, we did a 5-day class online on my videos, and it's on the videos below. Just look back at around August 2018. We did 5 days, and we started with a little book base. And at the end of 5 days, those ladies had made some of the most beautiful books you have ever seen in your life. And I mean, they look like I had made them, and I don't mean anything by that, but they did. We worked a page a day. We just had a few pages in the book, so we worked a page a day. And so we'll do that again, and we'll do that coming up pretty soon. But this is what I did to make my book yesterday. I mean my book over the weekend. But I wanted to do my calendar book. And I still haven't changed this page yet. But I'm going to because I don't like it. But I took a piece of quilt. And you can use fabric, quilt, I use a lot of old dish towels. I've used towels, grunged them up, cut them to size, tore them to size, dipped them in coffee, wrung them out or rinsed them out if I got it too dark, and make the base. This was my base. So an old piece of quilt or anything, this is what I started with. I just went up in my stash because I've got several old quilts, cutter quilts. And so I just decided I love this because I made the grandpa book for Kevin Bryant, I think, in November of 2018 or 2017. He wanted one made for a man, and that was my first grandpa book, and I hope to make some more of those because that was probably the most beautiful book. And it's down in the videos somewhere. But this is the quilt I used for his. And he wanted it to look like it really belonged to an old grandpa. So we didn't do anything fancy with it. There was nothing on the cover. It was just a beautiful old quilt like this. So that's what I started with, a piece of quilt. And then I took some paper. I knew I needed 12 pages. This is going to be a little bit too big, but this will give you an idea. I knew I needed at least 12 pages of paper because I wanted one page like this for each day of the month of 2021. So I thought, what if I'm going to need some extra pages, and then I can always make pages and just tuck in like I do in some of my books. So I think I put 15 in this book that I did make. I think there's 15 pages in here. And then as I decorate them, as I work on January, I'm leaving that blank, and I'm just going to work on it like Nancy Glazer did. As things come along or come to mind to me, I'm going to put them in this book. We have a few birthdays, and our anniversary is in January the 27th, and we have some things like that are special days in January. Our son's birthday's in January. My sister's birthday's in January. So I'll just make a little heart or something on those dates on there. I really don't know what I'm going to do with this, with each month page, but each month will have one page. One page to tell you what the month is, and then a page to decorate. I am going to put a pocket on each page, just for notes or whatever. Maybe little things that I want to put in there to remember, but I don't want it to be out for anybody to just see at random. This page, I love this page. I love the little girl. I did a whole book on that little girl, and it was called The Lost Art of Homemaking, because I love homemaking. I love house cleaning and all that. I said yesterday or day before that that's one of my hobbies. So I love the little girl. I love that page. I'll probably do a little bit more to it. I don't know, but I'll try to grunge it down instead of fluff it up because I like grungy. This, I don't care for this at all. That's way too fancy for a grandma book. Grandma wouldn't have done that. What was I thinking? So I've got all these great sayings, and I'm going to have to pull up, and they're not going to come up. This is 3 hearts that I had left over from the hearts we made a few months ago. I think I'm going to put the old porch on here that Kevin wanted in his book, and since I made his book, several have asked for that old homestead with that big front porch on it, and I think I'm going to put that on this page and put the poem about family on there. That will be very, very grungy. I want it to stay grungy. I don't like cutesy, so I want it to be grungy from start to finish, from right here to right here. So I've got big plans for 2021. 2020 was kind of a rough year, so we'll see how we do. But I will get better at these videos. Just be patient. If there's anything I can help you with, all you have to do is ask. I don't have a, what do you call it, a jealous bone in my body, or I don't have, I'm not a competitor of any kind. If I've got anything, or if I could do anything that you want to learn to do and I can help you do it, I'll be right there. It may take me a day or two to get there, but because I was a day so swamped, but I will get there and I will help you. I will walk you through it. I talked to my daughter-in-law the first time she made homemade rolls. I talked her through the rolls over the telephone, and she lived 5 minutes from me. But she was busy, I was busy, and that's the way we did it that day. So I think that's it on the books. I don't know. I like fabric. I love a lot of fabric. I don't know anything else I can tell you right now except this is what I started with. I started with this on the calendar book because several are wanting to do the calendar books instead of a regular calendar. So I started with a piece of fabric, a piece of quilt is what I started with. Tore the pages. I would recommend using 15 pages just so you have a little bit of extra. And then do the stitch here, and then I stitched the pages, the 15 pages, and then I stitched them to the book. So I think that's it. I hope this is better than the one was yesterday. Oh, on the outside of the book, I've got some little doilies and things laying here. Listen, there are so many things you can do to the outside of the book if you do want to decorate your book. Look what you can do just adding. I've got so many of these because every time I go to a junk store, first thing I do is run around looking for doilies. And if they're more than $1 or so, I don't get them because I'm tightwad. But anyway, these are old. I haven't been able to go junking this last year at all because of the COVID. But there's so many things like this that you can do. I don't know. I mean, even just changing the doily changes the look. So look at that right there. Look what that did. Or you could put it over the whole front of the book. And then put one on the back. That would be cute, like a round, almost like a round book. But look what it does when you just change the shape and style of the doily. None of these are pressed. They were all in my pile. So there, see what a difference that makes. Just that different kind of doily. So then you put it on the front. I've got several of these, so I could make a star book. I'd have to press it all down. So much you can do. Handkerchiefs. I buy old ladies' handkerchiefs at junk stores and things. And so that could be used for a cover on a book. I like to add a lot of sticks and leaves and things in some of my books if they're real, real grungy. But there's just so many things you can do. Okay. I think that's just about it for right now. I hate it I didn't get my stuff in so I could do this in real time. But that's life. It may not be here for a week or two. They said 2 days, so it was Amazon Prime, and we pay big money for Amazon Prime, so I thought it would be here. It didn't happen. So I'm not going to do anything fancy on this book. That's going to stay just like it is. The outside's going to stay just like it is. Okay, I think that's it. Post any comments below. Give me a thumbs up. Any of that stuff is going to help this YouTube channel to grow. We are Junk Journals from Grandma with Love on Facebook, and we invite you to come and join us there. We do a lot there, and we have a lot of fun. Some of the challenges and things on some of the groups, there's so many challenges and things. There's just too much. Life is busy, and the home and family really should come first for all of us. So we're not going to be doing anything that's going to take away from that for any of you. But there's many of you that really need something extra in your life and need a connection with other people of like minds and, crafts and hobbies and things like that. So we're not going to be doing anything too complicated, but we're a very close-knit group. Please click to subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to grow this YouTube channel. It's growing, but slowly. But I think having these videos 2 or 3 times a week is going to help. So we're going to have one at least Monday and Wednesday, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Those days may change, but there will be hopefully at least 2 a week, and I hope to do 3 a week. Let's see, I think that's it right now. If you have any questions, please post below, or you can, my Facebook link is below. You can send me a friend's request and send me a private message, or just send me a private message, and I'll try to check that most daily, at least once a day, because it goes in the holding zone, if you're not on the friends list sometimes. So if you have any questions at all, don't just stress over it. Just ask, because we all have to start somewhere. I taught myself, and it took me forever because this wasn't even a big thing. I said in my About Me page on the YouTube channel, I've been doing this so long, I thought I was the one that came up with the idea. Because I started with the Sark books, S-A-R-K, and she just had oh, I don't know. She just had doodles and stuff. It was really a neat book. I've got several of her books. Okay, I think that's it. We will have better tutorials. We are going to do real tutorials, but I have got to get set up right to be able to do that. So it's breaking day. My deer and my turkeys and everything are wondering, where is that old lady with the corn? So I got to get outside and get to feeding. I hope you all have a super duper grand and groovy zippity-doo-dah day, and I hope you get a little kindness and spread a little kindness absolutely everywhere you go. And I stole most of that line from our daughter who runs the radio station here. She says that at the end of her live program every morning. So that's it. Really, that's it. Okay, thank you for watching, and just holler if I can do anything for you. I'm here. I'll help you. Love you all.